Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. We were recently at an NHL game, an NHL preseason game in Summerside, Prince Edward Island. The NHL hooked us up with 2 free tickets to that game, and it was the Kraft Hockeyville game that O'Leary PEI won. They got $100,000 in upgrades to their home rink.
They did.
And the game was played in Summerside just because the rink was bigger, it could house more people, more fans could go and enjoy the game, and easier to get to because it's less west.
O'Leary, if you look at PEI as a rectangular thing, O'Leary is really on the far left-hand side, kind of up in the corner, whereas Summerside is a little more central.
So we got 2 free tickets. It was a great time. Thank you, NHL or Kraft or Hockeyville, whichever person in whatever organization gave us the tickets. I really appreciate it. It was fun because we got practice tickets as well. Unfortunately, you couldn't go to the practice.
I had to work.
I went to the practice, had a good time. There's a lot of kids there, a lot of happy kids having fun, getting stuff signed, and enjoying watching their favorite players do what they love. And it was packed. There were so many excited people there. It was just a great turnout, and we saw some interesting characters. We saw the GM of New Jersey, Peter Dorian?
Ottawa GM.
Ottawa.
Pierre Dorian.
Pierre Dorian. And we saw Gary Bettman, saw Ron McLean, saw Don Cherry, saw Doug McLean.
Saw some sportscasters.
Some sportscasters.
That you see all the
time. Saw all kinds of people, and obviously the players.
Yeah.
But it was really important for PEI as an entire province to have this take place.
O'Leary was the center of gravity of the entire effort. The way Kraft Hockeyville works in Canada and the U.S. is they have phone-in votes or online voting from across the respective country, and the teams or the communities that do well in this voting get narrowed down, kind of like Miss America. It goes down to the final 2. And O'Leary this time won Kraft Hockeyville. And all of PEI was involved in the voting. We voted from here. We don't live in O'Leary. We're an hour and a half away from O'Leary. We voted. And not just us, but people probably all across Canada who could identify with O'Leary would vote for O'Leary, and they won. And they won, I think, fairly decisively.
I think it was a runaway, pretty much.
So that's great. And no offense to the other communities that were involved. But O'Leary deserved it.
It was time.
They worked hard.
It was time for it to happen.
It was,
and it was perfect timing. It was just a really special event. There were so many happy people, kids and adults, including myself and you, and it was tremendous.
And it was an event more than it was a game.
Yeah, totally.
Like if you're there for hockey artistry, and for a nice tight game and close and very competitive. You didn't see that.
No, and that was the main reason I wanted to go, was to watch the hockey. Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't a lot of hockey being played. It was a lot of, I don't even know what you call it, but I don't know what Ottawa was doing, but it wasn't hockey.
It was dismal. Ottawa, what was the final score, 8-1, 9-1?
We left when it was 8-1, I think.
Yeah, and we left just before the very end. I think it ended up 8-1, but...
Yeah, we left just before the end of the game.
Wow. But, it was brutal.
New Jersey looked like they came to play.
They did.
And, they were running that neutral zone trap really effectively. Ottawa was trying to do the 1-3-1 system, but then they would change their mind and they wouldn't try it, and they looked so disorganized. And it's not like they had a bunch of junior players up there playing, or minor leaguers playing. They had the Phaneuf, and they had...
they had Turris, and there's a few people they didn't have. They didn't have, obviously, Carlson.
Yeah, they didn't have
Mark Stone.
Then Pajot wasn't there, but they had...
Oh, they had
they had lots of great players. It wasn't like there were nothing, but...
And even New Jersey, they had a split squad that night because half of the New Jersey Devils organization was playing in Brooklyn against the Islanders.
Yeah.
And the other half was playing in PEI. We had the good half, I would say. Only a couple of names I recognized on the other game's roster. I think Kincaid was in goal.
No, Schneider was in goal.
No, down in Long Island.
Sorry, yeah.
And I think Ben Lovejoy was on defense. And other than that, I didn't recognize anybody on the other team.
Yeah, everyone
else was up here.
Yeah.
And we had Palmieri, I was very impressed with him.
Yeah, Palmieri, Zaka, Hall, Nico Hischer, Corey Schneider, Johansson.
Yeah, Johansson was amazing.
The list went on. It was a pretty great.
And they put on a clinic.
They did.
They were awesome.
Before the game started, Not to toot my own horn a little bit, but I made one prediction. I did not predict who was going to win. I just said that Zaka will score a goal. In the first 4 minutes of the game, Zaka scored a goal. I think 3 minutes after that, he scored another one, and then he got an assist, and he might have got one more assist after that.
He did okay.
The moral of the story is he had a great game.
He had a great game.
I am high on Pavel Zaka. I like this kid a lot. I'm going to watch New Jersey this year more than I anticipated because of this kid. I'm pretty excited.
And Hischier.
Nico Hischier was running a clinic, a skating clinic around people. He looked a little nervous around the boards. He's a small kid. Obviously, he doesn't want to get injured or hurt or even hit in general. It's his first year in the league. He's going to be a little cautious, but out in open ice, it was
something else.
It was a schooling. It was impressive.
Yeah, it was a really good event. The crowd was into it. A lot of the people in the crowd had to win a lottery of their own to get tickets.
Yeah.
So not everybody in the rink was a diehard hockey fan like we were. So,
it was a bit frustrating.
A bit. Again, not everybody was paying full attention to the game, although Ottawa kind of made that impossible anyway.
Yeah.
But it was not the place to go to learn the best about hockey.
No.
And you could hear people around, like, how many periods are there? They were asking questions that, what?
Yeah, like, why are you here? Serious? You don't know how many periods there are? Like, come on.
And then, the announcer before the game, long before the game even started, please refrain from moving to and from your seat during the play. Please wait till there's a stoppage in play before you go up and down the aisles. And that was ignored. That was ignored. It was people walking all over the place.
Definitely frustrating.
And for the diehard hockey fan, it was...
Like, I don't want to complain about the event and stuff because I know it was, it's a special thing, but there were frustrations involved. The announcer in that arena, don't know his name, doesn't really matter, just not a fan of him whatsoever. It's just...
I think he's a local from somewhere.
Probably.
But. And he was, trying to be a little over dramatic, dragging out people's names and stuff, and it was awkward.
It was awkward. Yeah,
but I have to say, the NHL, Kraft, the other sponsors, and the local credit union place, the local arena in Summerside, did an unbelievably fantastic job of organizing.
Oh, it was amazing.
The paint job on the ice, the boards, the layout, the scheduling and the organization and the flow of the fans, they were top-notch. It was entirely 100% professional.
Yeah, the camera people running up and down the stairs, they each had right arms guiding them and stuff, and even the setups above the stairs where they were actually doing the Sportsnet interviews and stuff, they weren't in the way. The rink in general was just laid out really, really great. We saw Gary Bettman, he was doing an interview. We saw some other NHL people too, and it's just, I don't know if it could have
gone... Gary Bettman was this close.
I don't know if it could have gone any better as far as event-wise. They were spot on.
It was perfect.
It was perfect.
Yeah. Bettman, and Gary Bettman knows what fans think of him in a lot of venues. And I think we commented in the past, I think it was during the expansion draft, where they booed him in the arena in Las Vegas, and he said to the fan, "You can do better than that."
Yeah, that's all you got.
Yeah, is that all you got? So it was funny because they, had the red carpet at the beginning for the ceremonial face-off, and they invited the organizing people from O'Leary, who did a wonderful job at getting the thing happening in the first place. Lots of cheers, standing ovation, actually. And then they, invited this one out and that one out. And now the president of the National Hockey League, Gary Bettman, and you and I both, and a lot of the arenas are boo.
Yeah,
and it's almost a funny boo, just, like, this is what you expect,
what
so
you
boo Gary Bettman.
Yeah.
It's part of being a hockey fan and the fan of the NHL.
I'm surprised he doesn't say it in the back of the ticket. If Gary Bettman's here, you got to boo him.
So, but a lot of the fans who probably weren't in on the joke, they actually cheered for him and clapped, which is fine. But I must say, the fact that he was there, I think, says a lot. I think it's a nice gesture on his part. He probably had, a lot of places he could be otherwise than in PEI for 2 days or however long he was there. And he even stayed and he watched the game. Not too far above where we were sitting, there was a set of box seats way up top in the upper deck. And he was there, not just there, he was watching, He was leaning out, he was watching the play. Occasionally he'd be checking his phone or something, but he was really engaged. And, he came down to fan level and did an interview with local media. He made himself available, and, good for him. And I think that...
We don't say many good things about Gary Bettman. I don't know if I've ever actually said anything positive about Gary Bettman, but you're right. He was very involved. He was very communicative with everyone there. He was nice. He answered all the questions. So good for Gary.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice thing. Now, they have Hockeyville in Pennsylvania as well, because a small community in Pennsylvania won Hockeyville. I don't know when that was.
It was the day before, actually.
Okay.
I think.
So hopefully they had just as successful event as we did for the Canadian version of Hockeyville. But, you know, Kraft, I think they need to be mentioned here as well. Totally. We already have. But, you know, some companies, they throw in, irrespective of you know, where they are geographically in the country. Kraft has been a part of this for many years, and the Kraft Foods Company. We know them from, you know, Kraft Dinner and Kraft Peanut Butter and, you know, whatever. And they were there in full-fledged, and they were thoughtful. You know, at the end when we left, everybody got a bag, a Kraft Hockeyville bag with merch.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody.
Like every fan.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Merch, you know.
So inside there was a Kraft Dinner thing, and then Heinz donated some ketchup. This isn't a small bottle. I mean, it is a small bottle of ketchup, but when you're getting a sample of something, usually you don't get an actual legit size of something you can buy.
Like if you were to buy that in the supermarket, that'd be $2.99 or something.
Exactly. So each got one. Not a sponsor, but just wanted to mention it. But this is new Heinz ketchup, jalapeno, and sriracha.
Sriracha.
I tried this one. It is spicy. It is good.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
And I'll let you do the judging on that. I'll just stick with the regular garden variety ketchup.
These tickets are legit. Might I say?
Very nice.
They're like, these are
glossy.
Yeah, glossy, professional. They're thick. This is going to be a good keepsake.
Yeah. It was a great event all the way around. The hockey, you know, is probably something you won't remember for a long time to come, but the event itself you will. You know, it was so well done. Going
there and seeing the players, but also experiencing the frustrations that kind of came along with it not being a hockey game and more of an event, it just made me want to go see an actual hockey game so much more and be around like all hockey fans, all caring about the game. So I'm excited to go to Montreal, hopefully this season. Hopefully we can make that happen. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
The only real complaint I have about the whole thing is, and first maybe I should apologize to you guys, even though I don't know if it's my fault, but I applied for media passes for the weekend, for that day, which would have given us access to the benches during warm-up, the locker rooms, all access pass to the arena. Would have been able to talk and interview the players and meet them and just chat with even some Sportsnet guys and maybe even Gary Bettman himself. And unfortunately, we were declined the media access. I don't know why, but you would think that a YouTube channel with almost 18,000 subscribers as of today would get maybe, I mean, we're a local YouTube channel dedicated to talking hockey, which could spread the word to potentially hundreds of thousands of people. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate it. If you were there and you saw us, let us know in the comments. We did have someone come up to us and say, hey, you guys post a post?
That's right. Yeah. We had a couple of visitors, one that you knew was going to maybe be there.
Yeah, Robbie came and saw us in the line. He didn't have tickets, he was trying to get in.
No, but this other, nice young man came up and he said to Neil, are you post to post? Neil said, yeah, and he shook his hand and, he didn't stay very long because he was just on his way with his mom, I think, to find their seats. But he was a real nice young fella and just, let us know that he watches our, watches the video. And it's great to be recognized and have a fan come up to you and approach you and that's cool.
Yeah, he was an Ottawa Senators fan, I believe, and he was pretty excited to see his team play. So
yeah,
it's neat.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys very much for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you are new to the Post to Post channel, hope you can hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in a future video. Adios.